everybody. Well, surprise, surprise, I have another restaurant review, and it's kind of an update too. This is not about Renero's like it was in the last restaurant review. This one is one that's kind of an update on a different restaurant that I've talked about previously, that I just feel like talking about now just because I have plenty of stuff to say about it, because I just went there and ate. Of course, I'm talking about Guys and Dolls, which, as you should remember, I've talked about it being behind where Tony and I live. Well, we've eaten there tonight. Matter of fact, we just got home like 5 minutes ago from eating there. And I have some commentary to make on it. Well, I don't normally bash places that I've given glowing reviews of previously unless there's a need, and right now there is a bad need to talk about them. If any one place needed like bar rescue or restaurant rescue or whatever, you know, like one of those TV shows from cable, Guys and Dolls would qualify, unfortunately. It took us, we walked in there and it took us about 5-10 minutes to get waited on before the waitress actually took our order, and she was working there by herself. Secondly, she was fine. I have no beef with the waitress. Poor thing, this is the second thing, she was there alone, working the entire floor by herself. Really. And then, you know, there was one cook in the back. I mean, you could see the guy working. He was busting his butt, you know, cooking stuff. They had karaoke tonight, which, if you're on my Facebook page, you would have seen me make comments to the effect of, you know, there are drunkards in here that are singing very badly. I also made a comment about I would pay money to have Billy Joel, Billy Idol, and Bret Michaels get up and sing something, because right about the time I made that comment, a guy was up there singing Billy Joel's song, Just the Way You Are, and I wanted to crawl under the table. I mean, it was bad. I'm like thinking, this is why people like Billy Joel, Bret Michaels, and Billy Idol are rich and famous, and you're not. You know, I had a former boss of mine say that, you know, karaoke is for people who are, something to the effect of people who are drunk and can't sing to get up and sing. And I'm like thinking, yeah, I agree with that. After a night, I mean, it was like listening to a dog that had gotten beat howling. I mean, it was like, what it sounded like. I mean, actually there was one guy that sounded halfway okay. I mean, you know, I mean, he sounded kind of sissified, but you can't have everything, you know. As far as the food goes, their menu used to be a lot bigger, like when I did my restaurant review for them 2 years ago, and they've shrunk it down to where it's like one page is like this, you know. It's not a whole lot. The food was okay. The only good highlight of the thing was they did buckets of beer, which Tony got a bucket of beer, and he got a bunch of hot wings, and today was the special on wings. You know, and he said they were okay. He got them hot, but he said it wasn't hot. Of course, Tony's saying it's not hot. It's probably spicy. You know, I got a Philly cheesesteak sub with Saratoga fries, which were okay. The fries were a little on the salty side, but you know, you can't have everything you want. You know, and I just got water and a soda. You know, and it was okay. It was nothing to write home to Mom about. You know, I hate to say it, but their food has gone downhill outside of the wings, of course. You know, and like I've said, you know, really seriously, you know, they're only open this week, today, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then they're closed on Saturday, and they're open on Sunday for a cruise-in. But normally they're open every Thursday, and I've noticed it's not a very large crowd. I think I know why. It was the experience we had in there tonight. I mean, it's just, you know, they need at least 2 to 3 servers working, and they need you know, the hostess needs to act more alive, you know. I mean, like, we're not gonna, people don't always go in places to drink beer and sing badly. They've got karaoke, I mean, really, you know. You know, it's just, I've had a lot better service in there prior to now. You know, I mean, as far as like the food goes, and you know, everything. I mean, I don't normally, you know, like I said, bash places, but this is one time where it, and I truly meant what I said about Restaurant Rescue paying this restaurant a visit. They should, I don't know like where to get the form or like what channel Restaurant Rescue is on, or if it's even still on the air. But you know, Bar Rescue would work too, because they have a couple of bars in there. But what they really need to do is, that place needs a massive ass overhaul. I mean, they do. I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, it needs help in the worst way. I mean, because I remember back in 2010, I remember that restaurant review. I was raving about the place, and the bartender, of course, the bartender has long since quit and gone on to do heaven only knows what. But, you know, it's kind of got, the food and everything has kind of gone downhill and everything. But, you know, I did want to hop on here and say I hope that they improve on the food outside of the wings. That's the only redeeming quality. And the waitress, we did tip her good. I won't say what our total was, but we did tip her good. 20% of our bill. But yeah, I mean, the poor thing was working by herself, like I said. Yeah, so we did cut her a break. The only thing is that it took us a while to get her attention. In fact, when we were ready to leave, I had to jump up and walk over to one of the bars just to tell her, hey, look, you know, when you get a chance, could you bring us our check? You know, I mean, you know, I do cut wait staff a break for stuff like that. But unfortunately for us, unless the restaurant gets a major overhaul and ends up on like TV or something, I sincerely doubt that Tony and I will be back. Just because you can tell, it's very painfully obvious when you're in there that the restaurant is struggling. I mean, a blind person could see it. It's that obvious. You know, well, anyway, I want to pause here, and I hope you all have a good evening. Talk to you later. Bye.